Tired of chasing the spot market and high fuel prices? Bring stability to your business with Mercer Transportation. They offer fuel discounts, fast pay after every load, plenty of freight with over 3,100 customers and over 500,000 loads per year. No company trucks to compete with, and discounts on tires, insurance, and other services. Pick your own loads or let their load coordinators help you find the right freight for your truck. Visit mercertown.com today for more details. That's mercertown.com.
The St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund is excited to once again offer our diabetes prevention program. Driving Down Diabetes is a free CDC-approved diabetes prevention program. This year-long program begins January 9th, 2023, with live webinars focusing on nutrition, movement, stress management, and sleep, while receiving encouragement and accountability. It's for those at risk for diabetes only, not for those who have already been diagnosed with diabetes. If you are an over-the-road truck driver with a valid Class A CDL and are wondering if you are at risk for diabetes, go to truckersfund.org and take the risk assessment located under the Health and Wellness tab. Driving Down Diabetes is made possible by Southern Recipe. If you have questions, email Julie at truckersfund.org. Don't let diabetes put the brakes on your career. Sign up today. Again, to sign up and get more info, go to truckersfund.org. Truckersfund.org.
Follow The Trucker on social media for the latest trucking news. Follow us on Facebook at The Trucker Newspaper, on Twitter at Trucker Talk, or on Instagram at The Trucker Media. Join The Trucker, along with truckers across the nation, to keep up with resources you need to succeed in the industry. Visit us on the web at thetrucker.com or pick up a free copy of our newspaper at one of almost 400 truck stops across the country. That's thetrucker.com.
Sponsored by The Trucker Media Group.
My muscles ached. I was tired all the time.
My son had a full-blown asthma attack. It came out of nowhere.
The unsettling thing about some symptoms is
I had a fever and these terrible headaches.
you don't always know what's causing them.
It was Lyme disease from a tick bite.
I had West Nile virus from a mosquito.
He had a reaction to cockroach allergens.
Threats to your health can come from unexpected places. Get the facts. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
For most of Alabama, ticks and mosquitoes are more abundant from late spring to early fall. If you spend time outdoors or have pets that go outside, you need to be aware of the diseases they can carry to help protect yourself and your family. Prevention is key in safeguarding against tick and mosquito-borne diseases. For more information,
Good morning, everybody.
protect you and your family from these pests, visit our website at alabamapublichealth.gov. Again, visit our website at alabamapublichealth.gov.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure, my mother remained strong.
Because without strength, you lose hope. Together, we will rise above heart failure.
To help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
I'm Aaron Tippett. I've been blessed to be able to make a living at what I love, making music for more than 25 years. But it didn't get there overnight. There were a lot of long days and nights of working just to make ends meet. Good things in life don't always come easy, but when you sweat for what you want, it makes it even sweeter when you get it. So remember to work hard, and when the opportunities present themselves, you got to be ready to grab them. This message is brought to you by the United States Air Force.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
It's Run Eye Radio. He is Eric Carney, and I'm Gary McNamara. 86690 Run Eye. Quickly to Phil in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I can't. I'm slurring my words here. I swear I'm sober. Phil, welcome. You're on Run Eye Radio. Hi.
Hey, look. When President Trump landed in East Palestine, the Americans who lived there, they didn't greet him as a presidential candidate. They greeted him as finally somebody from the outside world, an American who cared about Americans, showed up that would actually get their plight out to the American people. And the way they talked to him was like people that were finally realizing their isolation was over. It was an amazingly heartbreaking way to hear American citizens to talk to someone because they felt so isolated and alone and lied about the conditions that they're living under. And I just want to thank President Trump for going there, but those people need help. Somebody's got to go down there and help them.
You make a great point, Phil. That was really seemed to be the reaction, because if you look at the town hall meeting that was that there's a lot of footage out from the other day where they were asking, where's Mayor Pete, where's the administration, where's Norfolk Southern, where are all the people that matter that can do something about this? And then Trump shows up in a big way, and I think you also make a point that he's shedding more light to the situation by being there. They know that the media is going to give them more coverage on their situation, and I think that's a great point. Thank you, Phil. We appreciate it.
Help is on the way.
Thank you. It's just, these are the things that it boggles my mind. Think about this. You've got a chemical spill in a populated area at the hands of a major global multi-billion-dollar corporation, something right out of the liberal playbook that would be a reaction. That would be absolutely immediate. They would be screaming on it, and a liberal administration so far hasn't even shown up. Aside from the NTSB, you don't have the major players on site. They won't even do anything except follow
the EPAs.
Well, but I'm saying the major players, the decision makers, the administrators should be there, the transportation secretary, and the president. All the major players are MIA. Why is that? This is a liberal playbook 101. It should have been done. Top of the hour news is brought to you by House Products. Visit houseproducts.com.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.
Shell Rotella with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
All right, we're going to do bench presses and curls for upper body today. Sound good?
I'm just so tired after driving a truck all week. I feel like I don't have enough time.
Have you downloaded the Weigh My Truck app from CatScale? It can save you tons of time when checking your weight.
Speaking of weight, can you spot me?
Your time is money, and nobody knows it better than CatScale. That's why we offer the Weigh My Truck app absolutely free. Now you can complete your entire weigh without ever leaving your truck. You can see your weights on your mobile device, and scale tickets are automatically emailed to you. Best of all, weighing with CatScale means you're backed by the CatScale guarantee. Remember, time is money, so get weighed and get going with the Weigh My Truck app. Visit WeighMyTruck.com to find out more about how this app can revolutionize how you weigh your truck. That's WeighMyTruck.com.
Protect this accuracy when you're checking on a CatScale.
Eric Harley here from my friends at Valley Chrome Plating. Drivers, are you looking to outshine everyone rolling down the road? Head to Valley Chrome Plating, your one-stop shop for premium chrome bumpers and accessories. Their full line of industry-leading truck accessories are available for all makes and models. Valley Chrome has the highest quality parts, made with the highest standards, and made right here in the USA. Nothing shines like Valley Chrome. Family-owned and operated, Valley Chrome Plating has been putting the shine on America since 1961. Go to valleychrome.com today. Valleychrome.com.
Red Eye Radio and our sponsors are devoted to trucking safety. That's why we are proud to bring you the Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club. We've been saluting drivers who have surpassed the million mile mark with preventable accident-free driving. By reaching this milestone, you can be a part of an elite club of drivers who share remarkable safety records and demonstrate superior driving skills. If you or someone you know is a truck driver with 1 million miles or more of driving under your belt without a preventable accident, register online at RedEyeRadioShow.com. That's RedEyeRadioShow.com. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club would not be possible without the generous support of the fine folks from Petro Stopping Centers, House Lubricator, Motel 6, the St. Christopher Fund, and CatScale. We applaud the individual truckers and fleets who drive with care and keep our highways safe. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club, devoted to trucking safety. Register online at redeyeradioshow.com.
The St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund is excited to once again offer its diabetes prevention program, Driving Down Diabetes. This free CDC-approved year-long program begins January 9th, 2023, with live webinars focusing on nutrition, movement, stress management, sleep, and more. Sponsored by Southern Recipe, this program is for those at risk not already diagnosed with diabetes. Go to truckersfund.org, take the risk assessment located under the Health and Wellness tab, and sign up today.
News Radio 1440 WLWI AM, the home of Sean Hannity. Also on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, Alabama, a Cumulus media station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Paul Gauguin Cruises.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A massive winter storm sweeping the country has knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of customers in the upper Midwest. It's making the drive dicey in places like Portland, Oregon.
It gets more icy. I think it'll be more dangerous. So I'm seeing too many people out driving, but hopefully they'll get home safely and then stop.
More than 1,400 flights have been canceled or delayed in the U.S. today, and there's more treacherous weather to come. Meteorologist Craig Allen with our affiliate WCBS.
It will be windy with heavy snow falling all the way from Green Bay to the Twin Cities, but it will be blizzard conditions with complete whiteout conditions expected across the western half of Minnesota over into the Dakotas.
A rare blizzard warning has been issued for Southern California. A 24-year-old reporter, a child, and a woman have all been killed in 3 separate shootings around the same crime scene near Orlando, Florida. CBS's Christian Benavides.
The journalist reported for Spectrum News 13. Inside a home on another street, police found a woman and her 9-year-old daughter who had also been shot. The little girl later died from her injuries.
No one in our community, not a mother, not a 9-year-old, and certainly not news professionals, should become the victim of gun violence in our community.
Police have arrested 19-year-old Keith Melvin Moses, who they say is responsible for all the shootings.
Spectrum News photojournalist was wounded. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg will finally visit Eastern Ohio today, where locals are angry over the slow response to a toxic train derailment there almost 3 weeks ago.
I was focused on just making sure that our folks on the ground were all set, but could have spoken sooner about how strongly I felt about this incident, and that's a lesson learned for me.
Buttigieg lives just 4 miles from East Palestine. Former President Trump, who's running for office again, was greeted warmly when he visited yesterday. Officials in Arkansas are investigating a small plane crash that killed 5 employees of a consulting firm. Sheriff spokesman Cody Burke.
It got within a mile of the airport and it crashed. We are investigating the scene right now.
The firm says the employees were responding to a deadly explosion at the company's metals plant in Ohio. Safest cars on the road? WWJ's Jeff Gilbert has results from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety.
President David Harkey says the list is dominated by Japanese brand products.
The big winner this year was actually Toyota. They had a total of 15 awards.
The standards are now tougher with a harsher side impact test and requirements for better pedestrian protection.
This is CBS News.
CBS News is brought to you by Paul Gauguin Cruises. Artfully authentic, all-inclusive year-round cruising to Tahiti and the South Pacific. Visit pgcruises.com today.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage. N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
New danger in New York City, getting your iPods ripped off.
It's a way to buy time and not listen to the hustle and bustle around you. Listening to music, podcasts, or news with Apple AirPods while walking in public. But in Manhattan, the NYPD says 4 suspects have struck 21 times so far this year, stealing them. Police say they typically work with 2 suspects on each moped. The passenger gets off, approaches the victim from behind, and steals the headphones right off their head. They cost about $500. Matt Piper, CBS News, New York.
Lizzo visited Elmo for a first-of-its-kind performance on Sesame Street.
Sesame Street plays cookie flute. I've played a lot of instruments, but I've never played a cookie before. May I? Go for it.
That didn't last long when Cookie Monster came along and gobbled it all up. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Attention River Region. Don't wait on one of those internet companies to hopefully call you back. You'll be disappointed even if they do.
All right, hold it. Got it? You can become bitter or you become better as the circumstances of your life reach you. It's about attitude. So you need to decide. Either control it or let it control you.
Right.
That's right.
Holding that anger, it's not good on so many levels.
No, just let it go, bro.
It's bad for your health.
Let it go.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you are 45 or older, Rump Shaker encourages you to talk to your doctor about screening options that are available.
Sounds smart now.
Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and
Yeah.
treatable, but early detection is the key. For more information, please visit us at www.rumpshakerinc.org. That's rumpshakerinc.org.
The new year's in motion, but are you? Is pain keeping you from living the life you love? The Good Feet Store's arch supports are designed to improve performance and alleviate, even eliminate, your foot, knee, hip, or back pain. And, backed by popular demand, the Good Feet Store is giving away a free pair of premium shoes with your qualified purchase. That's $140 value. Step into your local store today. Try before you buy.
All right, I'm waiting now.
Nothing to lose. Find your local store at goodfeet.com.
When it comes to equipment, you don't have
Nothing's
to pay
like
more
a
to get more.
good cup of java first thing in the morning. It motivates you,
along with the best
gets you
and right now, you
ready
can own quality
for the
John
world.
Deere equipment from SunSouth with 0% interest for 60 months. That's
And
right, 0%
it makes you
interest
thankful
60
for another
months
day on
on
top of the
top
ground,
models, including
so the
John
ground's
1
not on
Series,
top of
3
you.
Series, and even 5
Airborne.
Series tractors. With the equipment to meet your needs, visit SunSouth. Equipment for those that do.
I did a good job. I did a good job on this coffee. Now this right, I did a good job on this one. That's good stuff.
Every day we're throwing some new meaningless drama in the fake news.
I don't know what this coffee is called,
We're all about to face.
but I will tell
Between
you,
the government trying to
they got
press their
some
way out
pumpkin
of debt,
coffee back there.
military conflicts,
Whoever
the
came up with the
disintegration of our most
idea of
trusted
pumpkin
institutions,
coffee,
and
I don't have a
looming
clue.
Food shortage. Preparedness is no longer a choice; it's a necessity. You can try
But I want to tell you,
Patriot Supply.
pumpkin coffee
Emergency food kits
sucks.
packed with tasty meals
It's bad.
serving over 2,000
But however,
calories per day.
I just know a brother didn't come up with that.
For each person in your family. Self-reliance is the only.
Now this right here is called Royal Roast,
Time is running out.
as opposed to non-royal roast. I guess I don't know,
Dozens of different emergency
but it tastes
food
pretty
kits
good.
while you can.
But the pumpkin
These
coffee,
kits are in stock,
okay, now,
ship fast, and arrive
I mean
in
Halloween, okay, maybe it's a joke, maybe, but
Go to
this is
mypatriotsupply.com
pumpkin coffee.
before the
It
next
just
crisis strikes.
tastes bad. Bad.
mypatriotsupply.com.
This ain't pumpkin though. This is Royal Roast. Yeah.
TV or heard me on the Mark Levin Show. Join me Monday through Friday.
See, this
on America
motivates me in the
a new
morning.
kind of talk show for a new generation. We'll talk to influencers and newsmakers about what's really
Yes.
going on in America.
I thought it would be snowing today or something. Anybody know?
We're also going to talk to you, so make sure you subscribe to America at Night with Rich Valdez. Rich Valdez. That's Valdez.
Obviously, I have some time to waste right now. So, any questions? Are there any questions? Okay. If there is, write them in the comment box over there.
2 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Your WSFA first.
Do you have any problems you need me to help you secure? I mean, I got my own problems, but today it's all for you. Got any problems you want me to handle for you? I'm gonna have a relationship day, and I'm gonna be the counselor of the airways. Okay, so I'm already the mayor, so I'll be the counselor of the airways. Help you guys with your issues. Because we all got some. And then you guys can help me with a couple of mine. I know you think that I'm perfect. I'm not. I got issues too. Everybody's got some. Okay. But the one issue that I have, you guys do not believe that food in the refrigerator communicates with each other. Yeah. You really don't believe I'm serious about it? I am. Because I walked in there last night. Well, I'll tell you what happened, but I'll put it to you this way. I'm going to always believe that the refrigerator has a communication device, and the jelly, the peanut butter, the eggs, all of that's, and the bologna, they all talk to each other. Okay. They do. I'm just telling you, they do. I'm just telling you that. I know you don't believe it, but here's what I want you to do. In the morning, I want you to sneak down in that refrigerator. Don't open the door, because the minute you open the door, you kill it. But don't open the door. Put your ear on the refrigerator door, and it sounds like a party in there. But the minute you open the door, they go back to being food. I'm just telling you. I know y'all think I'm joking, but I'm not. So, don't say I didn't tell you. This coffee really is good.
More help is on the way for tornado victims in Selma. That storm hit back on January.
This year,
Later today,
I'm going to have my first beer. At least I'm thinking about it. My son wants me to go out and have a drink with him. So who knows? I'm in. But I do like some of that Hennessy. I don't never had it, but it sure looks good. It looks like it'll go down real smooth. So we're going to go and have a drink, but I can't. Someone else has got to drive me though, because since I've never had alcohol, I probably take like a couple teaspoonful of it and I'll be drunk. So I will leave that alone. But anyway, that's it for this morning. Let me get ready to go to work. So you guys hold on, be strong, okay? And don't forget lessons of life today and the word of the day, which both, I must say myself, are fantastic words. Fantastic word, as well as a good lesson of life today. You'll enjoy it.
ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of names. So how do they do it?
I'm losing my birds.
Powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job.
No.
You can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Only $49.99. For location near you, go to markpatrickseminars.com. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick Seminars. Join the over 500,000 others who've attended. That's right. Weight Loss Seminar Sunday, February 26th at the Hilton Garden Inn, Montgomery East in Montgomery. Weight Loss Seminar 11:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance.
The podcast
can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob 40, who's an excellent
Uh,
10-year
I can put-
$500,000 policy for only $19.
If anybody wants to hear a particular show,
SelectQuote found Tanya.
all you have to do is ask me, and I don't podcast them automatically. So if you want to hear this, so I will podcast yesterday's show sometime today. I'll do that today. But I only podcast them. I save them, but I only podcast them if somebody asks me to, because I ain't making no money off that. I could make money off of it, but I'm too lazy to do the work. Okay. So I'll podcast yesterday's show when I get off work today. Sometime this afternoon, it'll be on my Facebook page. The link will be on the Facebook page.
Telling it like it really is.
All right, gotta go to work.
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440. To reset, refocus on your day.
Hey, cold food can talk.
Take a deep breath.
Just tell him.
Change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
need some medication. And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine once again for this one more day that you're on top of the ground and the ground's not on top of you. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. It is time for our daily bread. A word from on high to change your perspective or give you a new one. Either way, it's good for the soul. It is February the 23rd, 2023. Today's daily bread is simply entitled Water of Life. Our scriptural insight today comes from John 4 through 14. John 4:10 says, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water. Govern yourselves accordingly. Good morning to you. And again, it is February the 23rd. It is a day like all the other days of old that has never been. And it is a day that shall never, ever come again. And once this day is gone, you don't get a second chance. You don't get to come back and summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done that you don't. And more importantly, you don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, hopefully if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day, February the 23rd, 2023. If you have lived a while, you've seen, you've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and mercy, we may, I'm not sure, we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of our lives. What are we going to do with them? Well, whatever we do, we need to reach back when we can and help somebody else along the way. Benjamin Elijah May said that whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say if that is the standard by which you live life, you'll always be successful. Always. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. But we say never, ever quit. Never give up. Never, ever give up. Because winners, well, they may lose a time or two, but they never quit. My mother said, put one foot in front of the other. She also said, nothing beats a failure but a try. Martin Luther King says, if you cannot run, walk. And if you cannot walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. Don't ever quit. Don't ever give up. Because quitters don't win. And while winners may fail in a thing or two, they never quit. So don't you. And no matter what happens to you this day, whatever it is, remember this. It is still, for all intents and purposes, it is still a great day to be alive. Good morning to you, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine. Water of life. That's our daily bread for this day, February the 23rd, 2023. Time to rise and shine.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. I'm Amy Boucher Pye, and I called our reading Water of Life. Andrea's home life was unstable, and she left at 14, finding a job and living with friends. Yearning for love and affirmation, she later moved in with a man who introduced her to drugs, which she added to the alcohol she already drank regularly. But the relationship and the substances didn't satisfy her longings. She kept searching, and after several years, she met some believers in Jesus who reached out to her, offering to pray with her. A few months later, she finally found the one who would quench her thirst for love, Jesus. The Samaritan woman at the well, whom Jesus approached for water, found her thirst satisfied too. She was there in the heat of the day, probably to avoid the stares and gossip of other women, who would have known her history of multiple husbands and her current adulterous relationship. When Jesus approached her and asked her for a drink, he bucked the social conventions of the day, for he, as a Jewish teacher, would not normally have associated with a Samaritan woman. But he wanted to give her the gift of living water that would lead her to eternal life. He wanted to satisfy her thirst. When we receive Jesus as our Savior, we too drink of this living water. We can then share a cup with others as we invite them to follow him. Our Bible reading with today's Our Daily Bread devotional is from John chapter 4, verses 4 through 14. Now he had to go through Samaria. So he came to a town in Samaria called Sychar, near the plot of ground Jacob had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, tired as he was from the journey, sat down by the well. It was about noon. When a Samaritan woman came to draw water, Jesus said to her, "Will you give me a drink?" His disciples had gone into the town to buy food. The Samaritan woman said to him, "You are a Jew, and I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" For Jews do not associate with Samaritans. Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water." "Sir," the woman said, "you have nothing to draw with and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank from it himself, as did his sons and his livestock?" Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." Let's pray. Father God, you welcome all who are thirsty to come to the waters and drink. Satisfy our thirst through your living water. We pray in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
All right. All right, you know the sound. It's time to rise and shine this morning. Hey, last day of PT, so we got to knock this out of the park. Time, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. But the general, first of all, has to motivate us, okay? So, you know, we roll this way every morning, so don't act like it's something new, all right? So let's get on it. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. All the way, gotta be
rough and tough, airborne, every day, we run to the sun, oh, swear, not it, down in the mess hall on my knees, we got nothing to eat but a can of beans, the bread was moldy and the meat was bad. Well, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne. All the way. When I was young, always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, knees on the breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. All the way airborne, all the way driving on. All the way airborne, driving on. Early one morning in the drizzling rain, well, I picked up my parachute, boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light lead with the chilling blow.
all the way, airborne, airborne, all the way, driving on.
Driving on. Driving on.
All the way, airborne, airborne, all the way, driving on.
Driving on.
Here we go.
Here we go.
All the way.
All the way.
Gotta be. Rough and tough.
Rough and tough. Airborne.
Airborne, airborne.
All the way. All right, time for the PT. Tell somebody to get the mayor, sergeant major, and the first sergeant out here. Tell them they can't be retired on active duty. They need to get out and get some of this too. Bring me some. Bring me some.
Hard work.
Oh. Oh, gotta stand up. Hard work, work. Oh, doing it right. Hard work, work, work. That's what I say. Hard work, work, work. Earn my pay. Hard work, do it every day. I get up out of quarter to three. Oh, and go to pay. A nice job. Hard work, work, work. Go to work. Hard work, work, work. That's what they say. Hard work, work, work. I earn my pay. Hard work, work. Oh, and it's on down. Hard work, work. Go and go to the crowd. Hard work, working on the doors in the moon. Hard work, work. Let's go to work. Hard work, hard work. That's what they said. Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work, work. Manifest. Hard work, work, work. You gotta do it right. Hard work, work, work. There we go. Hard work, work, son. I'm ready to roll. Hard work, work, work. I'm earning my pay. Hard work, work, work. That's what they say. Hard work, work, work. Woo! Hard work, work. Go to work. Hard work, work. On the airplane. In the early morning rain. Hard work, hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, hard work. Learn to hear. Hard work, hard work. Turn it up. Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work. Everybody on the plane. Hard work, work. Sit them on down. Hard work, hard work. The engines are on. Hard work, hard work. The mission is going. Hard work, hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, hard work. I earned my pay. Hard work, hard work. It ain't over yet. Please, please. Woo. Okay, that's a lot of hard work to do first thing in the morning. But I'm motivated. I can handle it. I'm ready to get it done. I'm ready to get it done. Okay. Woo, I'm getting old for that. But hey, we don't do PT tomorrow, so we're good. Now let's pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States of America, especially to the young men and women down in Fort Benning, Georgia, some 88 miles away, who right now, this time of morning, they're running around the track saying they want to be just like me. I want to be a paratrooper like Elkins is. Hey, just keep the good work up, don't quit, and don't be a wuss. That's all I'm saying, and you'll make it. All right, I'm just saying, there's somebody down there want to be just like me. Okay, because I was down there in 1979, around this time, as a matter of fact. I was down in 79, yeah. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard, and don't forget Space Force. Although Space Force kind of let us down with that balloon going across America, y'all need to get their act together. I know they're new, so we're gonna leave them alone for the time being. Well, let's not let that happen again. Somebody butt don't roll. And let's say good morning to Milford Jordan, head of our Montgomery Fire Department, along with Daryl Abbott, who is our police chief, Derek Cunningham, who is our sheriff, and all the men and women who work for the Department of Sanitation, who are out there every morning, way before I get here. And to those police guys over there, you know, in the corner coming down Crampton Bowl, I wish y'all might as well go someplace else try to find somebody else speeding. I'm not going to be speeding. I'm listening to Luther Vandross, Barry Manilow, and Temptation. You can't speed, listen to that. So y'all might well go someplace else at 5:30 in the morning. I'm not going to be speeding down the road. So go find the real guy that's out there trying to speed on you. I'm just saying, you might want to do something better with your time. Don't be trying to catch me, because I'm chilling. That's old school for I'm just taking it easy. And let's say good morning to the Honorable Mayor of the great city of Montgomery, Alabama, Mr. Stephen Lewis Reed. Hey, I'm with you, brother. Okay, I mean not on everything, but most things. I mean, we still got some differences now. We need to talk about them. But the good book says, give honor to whom honor is due. And that's what we try to do around here. No sense going to church if you ain't trying to do some of that good stuff right. Yes, yes, yes. Now, that's just the wake up first thing in the morning, check your pulse. You know, I said I wasn't going to bring this up ever again. Okay, let me renege on that promise. Because you see, I got people telling me what I know to be true. And remember I told you, remember my lesson in life yesterday? Every once in a while, you got to stand on what you know to be true, regardless of what people say, even if you got to stand by yourself. So let me just stand by myself this morning. Okay, see, I need somebody that used to be a Marine to tell you folks that I'm not lying. When I went down there to join the Marine Corps, because I wanted me that white hat and them white gloves and I wanted them dress blues, whatever those things called. I wanted me some of those. I didn't care what I had to do to get them. Even if I died trying to get it, they still put me in it when they buried me. So I wanted me some of those. But, however, I wanted a set of them jump wings. And they told me in 1978, when I went down there, that I was too short to be airborne in the Marine Corps. Now, I was 5'6" 3/4, But now everybody's telling me that never has been so. I'm telling you, it's a lie. I was told that. Unless they lied to a brother. But now they said, nope, said I was too short. Nope. Because I right as I'm beginning to put my name on the contract, I'm getting ready to join the Corps. Well, I look to my left, the big statue they got a big statue, a cardboard cutout of a Marine with these things on his uniform. They're golden wings. Theirs don't look like Army wings. Golden wings. And I said, okay, I'd like to have a set of those. And then they told a brother. They disappointed a brother. They said that I couldn't do it. So there's got to be somebody out there that knows that I am telling the odds, the honest to God truth. Because I wanted to be a Marine. I love being with the Rangers and 82nd Airborne and all that stuff. And that's good stuff. Looks good on the resume. But I wanted me that white hat and them white gloves. Yeah, I wanted that. I needed that stuff. Okay. I just want y'all to know, though. I just want y'all to know that I am somebody out there, some former recruiter. Wait a minute. Now Willie went in the Marine Corps. I was already in Army when he was joining, but not by too many years. But anyway, somebody has to know that I'm telling you. So 1978. Okay, what were the standards to get in the Corps if you wanted to be airborne? Okay, I'm just telling you. So y'all be thinking I be lying. Even that one guy calls me all the time. He always tells me I'm always lying, but I'm not lying. Okay, I told some in my life, a few. Okay, quite a bit. But on this one, when it comes to military stuff, I will never lie on my record. Never. Okay, you either did it or you didn't. Okay, and I did make it past E4. Anyway, so now, matter of fact, I was going to make like E6, but I pissed off the first sergeant, and so they took my orders and tore them up. Because I did something I shouldn't have done. Okay, I did something I shouldn't have done. Okay, now, and I did this down in Rome, Georgia. Okay, which is where I was in 1978. Okay, I went down there, joined the Corps, and but I wanted me a set of wings. I mean, listen, they just changed the way the uniform looked. most officers have jump wings because it looks good, right? It looks good. It means you got a little bit of courage. Okay. Now we call those 5 jump commandos. I ain't matter. I'd rather be led by a 5 jump commando than somebody who didn't do it at all. 5 jump commandos mean they did the necessary things in order to get the wing. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so that's all I got to say this morning about that. But I'm just saying, y'all be thinking I be lying. I don't. I told the truth. Okay, maybe not everything, but I'm telling the truth about this. Anyway, so I got to take a break, and we'll be back. Uno momento with lessons of life and the word of the day and all that good stuff. So I'm just telling you guys, they stuck it to me. And okay, here's what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I am going to call the Marine Corps recruiting station in Rome, Georgia, which is where I joined it, and have them tell you. I'm sure they got my record down there. I'm going to have them tell you guys that I am not lying. Okay, I'm not. Okay, now there's got to be somebody out there that knows the brother is telling the truth. I get tired of people calling me a lie about that. I'm just saying, it happened. You know how it was. Oh, I was this close to those blues and that white hat and that white glove. But I said, ah! I stopped. And I told the brother he could not be airborne because he was too short, which would have been all right had I not got to Fort Benning and found a bunch of short Army sergeants, which we used to call them Sergeant Airborne, teaching tall Marines how to get it done. I'm done with that. I know I said I'm never going to bring it up again, but you ever had something in your life that just you can't let it go until it's resolved? Well, we need to resolve this. I need something in the United States Marine Corps to validate what I am saying. Okay, then. Or else I'm going to be like a homeless person, and I'm going to camp out in front of the Marine Corps place on Federal Drive and live in the grass until somebody comes out and tells people I'm right. Okay, now I can go. I'll be back with you in a minute.
Mild start to our day, and we continue with the warmth in the afternoon. Just with the drum, we continue with the blue cloud skies and freezing south winds. We're looking forward to crossing the close enough to the 60s highs, right around 80 again for Friday. Following a low in chance for rain. Weekend will remain warm, highs in the 70s and 80s. This is still cloudy today, closing with the 60s. And that's your first solar forecast. On WSSA meteorologist Nick Gudger on News Radio 1440.
Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven. News Radio 1440.
Looking good. Then he turned B classes start March 7th at Cleveland State, but great is going on now.
When it comes to esports, no one does broadcasting like League of Legends. Last week, beloved caster and host Gabriella Debbia Allen went out on a matchup with Team Solo Mid, where she came to talk about past player reviews caused by the organization. This caused major backlash, and fans claimed that the segment was offensively telecast. Gabriella has issued an apology for the segment, as well as announcing a mental health of the broadcast. The latest esports and gaming news.
Look at
Sounds great, but with TripLight Work from Anywhere solutions orchestrated by CDW, it's easier for your teams to work consistently and productively with tools like monitor mounts, USB docks, and adapters.
Know anyone who wants 3 encyclopedias from 1992?
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out.
Well.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it?
Looks like a
Will you
Democrat.
make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here to defend the world. We're advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. We're championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we're realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for you, to work with you. Realtors members of the National Association of Realtors. So that's who we are.
I think nobody knows about it carefully. Well, this whole section of it is about allergies, viruses, mucus, and germs, and it arises like anything. But many other people say about me. People quote, "Advice is the best thing I got, and I love it. My nose feels so clean like I can breathe. I've been struggling with a slipping nose for weeks. I brought my mom. It feels amazing. So this time, use it like every night to imagine life with a new experience. I think before I found the rise, I was like 5 minutes. And I've been so much life. Those are killed over 150 million people. This solution is something like 2 million people to use better, still people still and stay healthier with fewer drugs. The rise is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Nirvana, NAD, AGE. Did you know that colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in America and that it affects men and women equally? If you are 45 or older, Rumsfeld encourages you to talk to your doctor about screening options that are available. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and beatable, but early detection is the key. For more information, please visit us at www.rumsfeldinc.org. That's rumsfeldinc.org.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight with Stop Smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. That's right, you want Seminar Sunday, February 26th at the Hilton Dove Members of the Eastern Governor. We're left for 11 a.m. Stop Smoking Seminar February. Visit Mark Patrick Seminars.
What happens to that? You need life insurance. And Selectquote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
Selectquote can take affording is a your health for 10 years, $475 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health, don't worry.
Selectquote can tell you affording against type 2 diabetes for 10 years, $175 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American Federal, and others to find you a company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. No free quote. Call 1-800-885-8811. 1-800-885-8811. Or go to selectquote.com. It's 1-800-885-8811. Selectquote. We shop, we save.
Your full details on your family health is at selectquote.com/commercials. If you're in the beginning of getting your health insurance control of the country, you can your efforts.
anytime, like your bank account to PayPal or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BEST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BEST for 25 cents per gallon on your first tank.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dave Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Okay, we're back. Good morning, everybody. It is time for Lessons of Life and the word of the day, because I'm always trying to help you guys with your vocabulary, so you don't, if you got to tell somebody off, you need to know how to do it in a sophisticated way. Don't be using the ghetto language, you know the words I'm talking about, y'all like to use out there. I'm just saying, this is the way to help you, get people told and still maintain some respect for yourself. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So that's the word. So, first of all, though, Lessons of Life is an interesting one, and if you pay attention to it today, you'll be better off than you started this day with. Okay, I'm just trying to say. Wait a minute, what is the word of the day? It means freedom from punishment, harm, or loss. That's the definition. But what is the word? Again, it means freedom from punishment, harm, or loss. Some people, we call that privilege sometimes, white and black. And listen, quiet as it's kept, black folks have a little freedom on some things too. So let's not just talk about white freedom. We got a little black. We got a little black privilege there going on too sometimes. I'm just saying. I know some of it. Okay. So anyway, so what is the word? What is the word that means freedom from punishment, harm, or loss? In other words, privilege. Well, the word is impunity. IMPUNITY. So, Mr. Johnson, you gave me a bad grade, and when I looked at the word, or I looked at the subject, and I was right. So, are you to be? Do you have unlimited impunity to do these things? Okay. Oh, you tell your teacher that, and he's gonna have to give you another grade. So are you free from impunity? Are you subject to impunity for making your mistakes? So Mr. Johnson will look at you. First of all, he'll be glad that you know the word. Okay, impunity means freedom from punishment, harm, or law. Okay, so most rich people can, they get some of that sometimes. Money talks, therefore. I'm thinking, what if we just did away with money forever? Yeah, don't even deal with money anymore. We don't have to talk about. I don't know. I can that another day. Anyway, okay. So the lesson of life today. These are things you learn by living. You cannot tell somebody what it feels like to run a mile by looking at TV. If you haven't ran the mile, you'll never know what it's like. These are the lessons that come after you lived a while. You've done a few things. You made a lot of mistakes. You finally slowing down now. You make less mistakes. You probably still make some. But this is what lesson of life is. You cannot tell a person what it feels like to run a mile unless you have ran the mile. You can watch Usain Bolt on TV. You can watch all these football players go up and down the field, but unless you have ran the mile, you don't know. And this is where lessons of life come in every morning. So today is no exception. So here is our lesson of life this morning for February 23rd, year 2023. You can become bitter or you can become better as the circumstances in your life greet you each and every day. It is about attitude. So you need to decide this day, right now, either take control of your life or life will take control of you. Say that one more time. Become bitter or you can become better as the circumstances in your life greet you each and every day. It is about attitude. So decide this moment, either take control of your life or life certainly will take control of you. You just think about that for a couple hours and I think you'll get it, okay? It ain't what happened to you. I know that's not grammatically correct, but I like that old We'll get down on it kind of language. Not what happened to you in life. It's how you handle it. Okay? February 23rd, 1954, the first mass inoculation of school children against polio using the Salk vaccine began in Pittsburgh, with some 5,000 students were vaccinated. We always know why they're not vaccination anyway. It is the 54th day of the year. Okay, just in case nobody wants to know. In 1865, on this day, composer George Friedrich Handel was born in present-day Germany, or what the Germans call it, Deutschland. In 1822, Boston was granted a charter to incorporate as a city. In 1836, on this day, the siege of Alamo began in San Antonio, Texas. In 1848, the sixth president of the United States, John Quincy Adams, died in Washington, D.C. at the age of 80. In 1870, Mississippi was readmitted to the Union. I still don't know how they knew where Mississippi started in Georgia, but I still don't figure out how they did. They didn't have no topographical map. I guess they just, I don't know how to try and explain that much with your history class. 1927, Calvin Coolidge signed a bill creating the Federal Radio Commission, or what we like to call, it was a forerunner to the FCC, Federal Communications Commission. In 1942, the first shelling of U.S. mainland during World War II occurred as a Japanese submarine fired on an oil refinery in Santa Barbara, California, causing little damage. 1945 was the year during the Second World War. U.S. Marines from Iwo Jima captured Mount Suribachi, where they raised two American flags. The second flag raising was captured in historic Associated Press photograph. 1965 was the year comedian Stan Laurel, 74, died in Santa Monica, California. The year of 1998, 42 people were killed and some 2,600 homes and businesses were damaged or destroyed by a tornado in Central Florida. The year 2004, the Army canceled its Comanche helicopter program after sinking $6.9 billion into it over 21 years. Education Secretary Rod Payton likened the National Education Association, the nation's highest teaching union, to a terrorist organization. During a private White House meeting, the governor, Payton later called it a poor choice of words, but somewhat right, but stood by his claim the NEA was using obstructionist scare tactics, and they had. In the year 2000, that's why teachers were scared to do anything. In 2005, a jury selected in Santa Monica, California, to decide Michael Jackson's fate on charges he had molested a teenage boy at his Neverland Ranch. Jackson, of course, was later acquitted. 10 years ago, President Barack Obama pledged to dramatically slash the skyrocketing annual budget deficit as he started to dole out cash, baby, $787 billion economic stimulus package he signed the previous week. And it was 5 years ago. The Sochi Olympics completed 17-day run in Canada's 3-0 victory over Sweden in the men's hockey final, the last of 98 gold medals. Dale Earnhardt preserved the rank, persevered through the rain, and wrecked to win Daytona 500. 4 years ago, I think that's 1 5 years. Anyway, you know what it is. 5 years ago, again, Rick Yates, a former senior advisor to Donald Trump's election campaign, pleaded guilty to federal conspiracy and false statement charges, becoming a cooperating witness with the probe of Trump's campaign and Russia's election interference, which is the biggest lie ever told. Florida Governor Rick Scott announced plans to put more armed guards in schools and make it harder for young adults to, and some with mental illnesses, to buy guns. Why does a mental old guy need a gun anyway? Anyway, so now, what are some of the holidays today? What are some of the commemorations that we're making today, or we're celebrating today? It is National Chili Day on the 23rd of February. When chili is being served, everybody comes to the table, except me. I don't like chili. National Hospitality Workers Appreciation Day. I don't know, you get $15 an hour now. I don't think I'm giving any tips, but I ain't mad at it. Celebrating hospitality industry frontline workers. We love you. But at $15 an hour, I'm not leaving no tip. curling is cool day. Get your shoes and sticks ready as we celebrate the coolest sports in history. I haven't figured out what curling is yet. You know, you sit with the ice thing there, and I don't know what the hell it is. I can say one thing: you don't really have to be in great shape to do it. Defender of the Fatherland Day. Join us in honoring the bravery of Russia's defender, its history, its rich tradition. I don't know which tradition those are, except taking over other countries. Diesel Engine Day. That's right. Gear yourselves up as we celebrate the world's most important automotive power sources. Digital Learning Day. Get your minds and devices ready as we celebrate the adaptation of technology for learning. Guyana Republic Day. Prepare some interesting history lessons as we explore the fascinating story of Guyana. Here's one. International Dog Biscuit Appreciation Day. Hey, the dogs can appreciate the biscuit, but I really can't. But you know, we all know that dogs love these treats, so we celebrate this day, rag tasting holiday. Okay. National Banana Bread Day. Now, I love banana bread. If somebody can make the banana bread without putting the nuts in it, I'd buy me a couple loads of that stuff. That stuff is good. Banana bread, and pound cake. I love pound cake too. I just can't cook it. Whatever. Few things are more comforting as the smell of a freshly baked loaf of banana bread. If somebody want to make some out there, I'm just happy you heard this guy on the radio say he liked that stuff. And don't put any nuts in it. Yeah, I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay. You know, I'm good at it. I don't know. I mean, nothing free. You can get anything free, but I realize you got to buy it. So just text the brother, 241-9998, when it's done. All right, I'll come pick it up. National Day in Brunei. Gear up to celebrate Brunei and its people on their National Day. Did I tell you about the National Biscuit Day? Yes, okay. National Rationalization Day. National Rationalization Day allows people to rationalize as much as they wish to. So we should call this National Fantasy Day. Okay. National Rudy Day. That's right. I've only known one person named Rudy in my life, and that's the guy who went to school in my old hometown in South Bend. That's Rudy. Rudy who was from Pennsylvania. He did a good job, stuck with Notre Dame football team. He really only got to play all those years in 1 year. National Tile Day is there. Get ready. You know why National Tile Day is an important day, worthy of celebration. I'll come back and figure that out. National Toast Day. Okay. Now I like toast. Toast is good, but I like toast the way you do it in the oven. You know what I'm saying? You put a little butter, 4 packs of butter on it, and you put it underneath the grill thing right there, and you got some butter. You know, you got some butter on the toast. You know, I don't really like toast in the toaster, but if I do have to have it on the toaster, you got to put some butter on it as soon as it comes out. I'm just saying, because it don't work very well. I put butter in it before it goes in. Pinocchio Day. Join as we celebrate Disney's iconic film Pinocchio. And you know what Pinocchio is. Play Tennis Day. Grab your rackets and get out on the court as we celebrate the best of tennis. That's one sport I just never got to do. Although I didn't mind looking at the old girls who playing. Don't get me wrong. The Emperor's Birthday. Pull out your Japanese attire and flags as we celebrate the great Emperor of Japan. These are going to celebrate across the world, not me. The Great American Spit Out. Which I don't know. Talk about that. Except those guys smoke the cigar stuff, spit in the corn and all that stuff. Tootsie Roll Day. Love some Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Roll, Tootsie. Anyway, Tootsie Rolls are delicious, chewy candies enjoyed by people of all ages. Okay. And one more. World Understanding and Peace Day. Get ready to set aside the day to live peacefully and celebrate organizations championing goodwill. Okay, those are some of the things we celebrate. When we come back next hour, there's something else going on in the city of Montgomery that's far more important than this whole thing with the mayor and what's his name. I'll tell you about that in a little while. Charles, hey, you come anytime you want to, brother, tell your story. I'll let you tell. I don't have the dog in the fight. Anyway, we gotta go. We'll be back.
On News Radio 1440. is News Radio 1330, also heard on 95.1 HD3 FM in Monterey. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Staples.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The coast-to-coast winter storm is wreaking havoc from the Pacific Northwest to the upper Midwest. They're digging out in Eagle River, Wisconsin.
I don't know. It's been like 59 years. I still don't know this. Well, I think it's just terrible.
Correspondent Christina Ruffini is in Minneapolis, where the wind chill makes it feel like 0 degrees.
Wind speeds here up to 50 miles an hour in some parts of the country, knocking down trees and power lines. In Michigan, a Paw volunteer firefighter died while responding to a downed line.
Minneapolis set for 1 to 2 inches of snowfall per hour today. Rare blizzard warning for Southern California. Police in Central Florida say a TV news reporter and a young girl are dead after a gunman returned to the scene of a previous murder. Correspondent Manuel Borges is in Orlando.
The deadly rampage began near a crime scene where a woman was found shot over earlier in the day in the Pine Hills neighborhood. Police say for unknown reasons, the suspect returned to the scene.
Deputies located 2 men who had been shot. They are a News 13 reporter and photographer who were on the scene to cover the homicide from this morning.
The gunman then allegedly went into a nearby home and shot a mother and her 9-year-old daughter. Killing the crime.
The mother is critical of the suspect in custody. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg has just arrived at the site of a toxic train derailment in eastern Ohio. It's his first visit, as it is just miles away. Correspondent Roxana Sabiri is there as well.
Angry East Palestine citizens got the chance to speak publicly to Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw for the first time yesterday since the toxic train derailment. Did you shorten my life now? You burned me.
We're going to get the cleanup right. We're going to reimburse the citizen.
The derailment 3 weeks ago, former President Trump made a stop there yesterday. New report from the Anti-Defamation League finds the number of mass killings in the U.S. linked to extremism over the past decade is at least 3 times higher than the total from any other 10-year period since the 1970s. Harvey Weinstein could get another long prison term, this one for rape. Court in California today. Correspondent Steve Futterman's in L.A.
The crimes took place during a film festival here in Los Angeles in 2013. The victim, an Italian actress and mother, testified that Harvey Weinstein appeared uninvited at her hotel room when she led him inside to assaulted her.
It's not just adult kids moving back in with mom and dad. New data from Pew shows more parents are shacking up with their grown children. They're doing it while they're younger and healthier. This is CBS News.
Staples stores are a new world of possibilities with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store or staplesconnect.com.
I'm Martin Hope, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I told you about how your nose is the body's air filter. Navage is powered suction will help overcome allergies, viruses, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about it? It's good. So, my doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use any. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such relief. It's become a lifesaver. Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Military members may need to reconsider breakfast.
The Department of Defense put out a memo to U.S. troops this week warning them to stop eating poppy seed bagels and other foods with poppy seeds because they could fail drug tests. The Pentagon says natural poppy seeds could be contaminated with morphine and codeine. So it says eating them could undermine the military's ability to identify actual illicit drug use. The Pentagon says it conducts regular drug testing, but there's no telling how many soldiers have failed because of poppy seeds. Monica Ricks, CBS News. Another one from this morning's food file.
Eat the mess hall.
For the dairy industry, the FDA has released draft guidelines proposing all milk companies continue to use the word milk to market their almond, soy, and oat products. The draft says consumers understand they don't contain food dairy. Means
are already strongly rooted in Shepherd's vocabulary. To provide with us, CBS News.
He's the voice of the conservative mind.
Oh, yeah. I voted today. Yeah, it's pretty good. I wanted to, I don't know if Mr. I don't know if Sean is, you're part of the guy. That's okay. Yeah, I can handle it. I've been doing this for a while. I can handle it all by myself. But if my people didn't show up today. But if I don't even know if he's in town actually. He always going on these trips and all, helping the rest of the world. But anyway, if not, we will carry on. It's a good Wednesday. What day is it? I forgot. Okay then. Hope that's not a sign of something else. I think it's Thursday. Maybe. Well, if it's not, it's still the day above ground. Something good. Anyway, 860-1440 is the number here if you want to give us a call. There was something else happened the other day that didn't get a lot of it didn't get a lot of play at the city council the other day because we were majoring in minor things between the mayor and Mr. Lee, who I will offer an opportunity for him to return if he wants to give his side. I'm not one way or the other on this whole thing. I like a little reason, though, a little rationale with this thing. But and everybody, Charles, I called. He left his money. I know he wants to have a time to give us, to give his whole story. But, however, there is something that happened the other day at the city council meeting that I missed. But there is something that's a little bit more important than the thing that goes on the mayor and this whole whether or not this stuff happened or not or why it happened. I don't know. There's something that's a little more important that has to do with life and limb. Okay, and that is some Alabamians are experiencing delay in ambulance response time, and that is a serious thing. And here is the article. It is an issue facing communities across Alabama, a delay in ambulance response time. The problem could mean the difference between life and death in the state's more rural county. We are facing a crisis here in our counties at Macon County Emergency Management Agency Director Frank Lee. And I'm concerned about the welfare of the citizens in Macon County. The nearest hospital to Macon County is 25 miles away. And emergency residents rely on ambulances in a timely manner to here. But officials say that they aren't arriving fast enough. It has been 10 and 20 and 12 minutes. It is under normal circumstances. Now it can be even exceeding an hour. That is somebody's life hanging in the balance. He said the problem is happening across the state. Officials say that the problem can mainly be attributed to staffing shortages and crowded hospital emergency rooms. Haynes Ambulance serves Macon County as much as Central Alabama. Chief Operating Officer Chris Burnett said the most significant issue they are facing is emergency delays and dropping off patients at hospital emergency rooms. He goes on to say, a lot of times we will have to wait 2 hours or more to drop patients off at the area hospital because they're just simply full. This causes a backlog in ambulances. We have 10 to 15 ambulances waiting to drop patients off. So it's like waiting on a baseball game to get in. Okay, last one alone, Barnett said they lost 1,117 hours waiting to drop off patients at area hospital. He said that was time that could have been spent responding to emergency calls. There's also a nationwide staffing shortage of EMS workers and paramedics, a shortage that can be felt here at home. Stop putting so many people in jail for crazy things. Maybe we can get some of those folks in school. I don't know. Although we don't want you to be in the medical thing high on drugs. We don't want that. And we can't have that. So we actually want you to know actually where you're going. Okay, I'm just saying. Barnett said that there are no public paramedic schools in the river region anymore. Renham State Community College used to offer a paramedic program in Montgomery. They said they don't do it anymore. Why not? The next closest program is in Southern Union State Community College in Opelika. Macon County EMA Director Frank Lee evidently Frank said it would continue to life flight patients when necessary. Financially, though, that is not ideal. But he said you cannot put a price on saving a life. So evidently, getting hospital, listen, may not mean much to you until you need it. When you need the ambulance, I wonder why Trenton State doesn't teach that anymore. Nobody was interested. I don't know. Kind of like policing. I think we're going to have to deal with some issues in America right now. we can no longer have great people doing great jobs for a little bit of money. Yeah, we need to raise the standard. Everything else is going up. I mean, everything. Eggs, $8 a box or whatever the hell that's called, a basket or whatever it's called, a case or whatever it is. We need to start paying people. And listen, couple of weeks ago, we talked about this living wage thing, and it is the way. And listen, first I poo-pooed it because I said, well, listen, if you want to make more money, get a higher skill. But when you go to a higher skill and you're still making the same money, what use is that? So I'm just saying we need to really start paying people more money, and you can fill these jobs. I mean, a man. Let's put it this way. I don't believe a man should have to work 2 jobs to take care of the necessities of life. I don't. I mean, if a man is working 2 jobs, he's working a job for himself and he's getting a job that somebody else can have. So why don't we just pay people, and if we stop inflating, nobody has a problem with taking up eggs. Nobody has a problem. I went to the store last night and tried to get chicken wing. Chicken wing is the only thing that's one wing that we sell as 2. We will break the wing. Now you got 2 wings. It's the same wing, but now you got to pay twice as much for the one wing. So we feel like we can pay everybody everything, but for some reason we cannot pay people who do tough jobs. All right, policemen, firemen, ambulance drivers, truck drivers, truck drivers. I'm sure who this is. Anybody who's this? Yes. I'm fine. Is your 3 minutes, Ed? Don't ask me questions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Appreciate that, Mr. Ed. Somebody chimed in on. I said a man shouldn't have to work 2 jobs. Well, okay. They said, well, a woman should need. Okay. Let me give the prominent word there. Man. Okay, a man and a woman got the same word meaning. Man. I'm just saying. So nobody should have to work 2 jobs in order to provide the necessities of life. I don't believe that. Now you want to live extra, you want to buy a Bentley and stuff, I'm with you. But nobody. go to work every day and have to work two jobs just to take it in necessities. As a matter of fact, we did it the other day. It cost us about $47,000 a year in the state of Alabama to provide the necessities of life. About $47,000. And so I'm just saying everybody should make, regardless of whatever job you do, unless it's a teenager job you're doing at home, should make around, according to the statistics, make around $47,000. Okay? You don't have to work two jobs. Yeah, everything, everything would go up. And guess what? It's going up now. Every person doesn't make $47,000 in America. And at a minimum, I'm saying, hell, they can make $40,000. Come on, who's this? Yeah. We got two. We got Care. We got Care and Hayes. So Care's no longer here. But there's still two companies in Montgomery, though. Well, no. Hold on. There's still two ambulance companies in Montgomery. How can the city of Montgomery be held liable for something that they did not participate in? I've looked some up though, but the city, I know about reading. I know, but you cannot be held responsible for a private company. Again, sure, but they're not going to hold the city responsible if the city did not respond to that. And that's fine, but the city's not responsible for that. The city's not responsible for that. That's my opinion. Mm. Mm. And again, that's one of the reasons. Yeah. 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 Well, we can't we yeah, well, we can't. I mean, right. But you know, you got to have somebody who's interested in doing the work. You got to have somebody who wants to do it. You can't. Well, that's our problem. That if I got it, it's ours as a community. But you can't sue the city on a private company. All right. Well, you may be right, but I'm pretty sure the city. No, I didn't say you're wrong, but I'm just saying. Okay. All right. All right. Appreciate it. Again, like I said, I'm telling you that the city is responsible because it has an ordinance for ambulances. That's why Chief Jordan brought it down. That's true, but you cannot. That's so the ordinance so they can operate in the city. But you cannot hold the city responsible if CARE or Haynes Ambulance don't get there. You can't do that. It's a private company. Okay? Now, if the city paramedics get there or don't get there in time, there may be a conversation about that. But the city can't hold Haynes unless there's, somebody can bring charges against somebody for dereliction of duty or malfeasance in office or whatever. But you can't hold the city of Montgomery responsible for a private company that doesn't do its job. At least, I think this is still America. Could be Russia. We'll be back.
News Radio 1440. Sponsored by Blindster.com. Unique new blind rates. Blindster.com offers custom-made blind kits and shutters with free shipping and prices less than big box retailers. And right now, pay 50% off any order. Hurry, February 23rd. Blindster.com. Miles search mode today and continue with the war for the after this. Maybe from the sky, raising southwest, what is the showers of possible? Person in 60, 80, and that's your first solar forecast. Under the SFA meteorologist, Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven, on News Radio 1440.
You see something else out there giving you trouble, simply contact us. We'll pass the info along, and we do appreciate
Why are you driving around town on old ball tires? Do you like living dangerously? Say no to old ball.
The Clay Parent Book, they read this record because it's home run in 1974. Minister Vince Young led the proud war for a minute and a half. And he said, marvelous movement for the country and the world. The
It's getting a standardization of the beat sound for breaking through the all-time baseball is a great moment.
Come fix my home. Fix my home.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show. Chinese, the Russians don't fear Joe Biden on News Radio 1540.
Okay, I love this song. Hey, Belafonte. And we want to go home. All right, good morning to you. Hope today feels, matter of fact, the bananas actually feel something good to drink, eat first thing in the morning. It has something in it. I don't know exactly what it's getting, but they, banana, apple, whatever, I think it's good. What eat some of those things. Too. I'm trying to give me some banana bread fix right now in the morning. Daylight come, everyone go home. All right, good morning to you. Hope today finds you well. Let me go to the phone and see who is there waiting for me. Good morning, who's this? Good. Let's hope they get a little bit more. But what's the starting salary for a paramedic? Right, that's what I'm saying. But that, yeah. But it ought to be enough though, so they don't have to work two jobs, work a job after they get off work. That's two. Wait a minute. That's two jobs. Mm. Mm. I think, yeah, yeah. Well, somebody's still going to be liable if the guy dies in the ambulance. And I understand. So what do you guys think the problem is? Oh, so are we allowing people to use the emergency room for non-emergency things? Is that what it is? Mm. Huh? But then I think that's a mismanagement. That must be mismanagement. Again, I mean, so even if it's not an emergency, using an emergency room. Okay. Oh, 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 yeah. All right. Appreciate it. Love the explanation, I guess. Good morning. Morning.
some reason, I keep in mind, McCorvey, the oncologist, was free, you have to have the residency program for Johnson & Johnson. For settlers, and really the community residency program for Johnson & Johnson. They're looking at a podiatry program. This is all the doctors and stuff. They should remember what the hell is this to you, Kevin? But you know what the problem is? The weed. This is everything else. We're not going to be here in Montgomery, Alabama. And political office and everything, but it's not nepotism. But you know, you're always trying to remark you. I'm sure you can talk about that. How can you make it? To get the people. And that's what they've done to every family. We have a great person there. It's really in the million days. It's on property there. Anyway, that's what the problem. We spent 1 year actually they were trying to give us a certificate. But it's sort of the hospital that can make it. But you know, we found out medicine companies that over there, and I thought, putting this in okay? And then that's when the big hospital, they suggest the disease is in issue for your health problem. They don't know if it's a community hospital on the best time line, so they can get all their medical babies to the American hospital. There you go. Now, this is there's a lot of issues out there. These people, they're counselors, and political officers, they're the problems, but they're not solved by each other. I got a building downtown. I complain to everybody in City Hall. There's three influence over it. And the building next door to me, because you have some qualified contractors, the actual building, but they don't qualify to do that. People are together. They're Perry Street. They're not going to Perry Street. They're going to Street. Look at that building in Federal. Marcia Johnson, you know this time I called. She doesn't call it. She never called it. She would have called it the other perspective. And they stopped it. They were using it to tear that building down. It's just the thing of those things. But you know what? You know, there's so much that we need to do with it, and you got people with this young reputation and affiliated. I don't wonder it. But nothing is legit. It's all living in the mind. The reason it's so green and we don't feel is because the real issue is the people's needs. And so that's where there's no competition for it. It's all that is.
All right, then. Let me take one more for my last break. An hour. Good morning. Who's this? That's it. All right, then. Appreciate it. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Uno goes straight to Central on the coast. Well, let's see what's on, what's on you guys' mind. Right? That's this. I guess there are more important things than the mayor and Charles Lee discussion. But it is important. I mean, it's kind of like, it's an inconvenience if it happens to your neighbor. It's a catastrophe if something happens to you. You might want to think about that. We'll be back.
Trustworthy, consistent, reliable. That's what they do. This is what customers are saying about Janus. Across office buildings and schools, healthcare facilities, and stadiums, our local franchise owners provide the same quality clean at every level. Let us put our 35 years in service to our people. Go to janusclean.com now. JANUSclean.com.
Jordan B. Peterson with his very special podcast. Joey Rogan. News Radio 1440.
Ready for what you see. Good morning, everybody. They find you. Listen, I don't want to make light of the possibilities of ambulance not getting to your house, but I got to tell you, the other day, I was looking for somebody's house in northern Montgomery, and I could not find an address. Okay, you know, years ago when I got here in 91, there was an ordinance I thought that said you have to have your address on the curb or something. I've been to so many neighborhoods around it. You cannot find people's house. Okay, so you're not helping the matter at all. Nobody can find your house. You know, I mean, young folks can see. I mean, we don't. If the ambulance would pass by you 3 times before, there needs to be an ordinance where your address has to be clearly, conspicuously put up so people know where you are, especially out in the older neighborhoods. But so let's not blame everything on the ambulance people. If they can't find you, especially if it is nighttime, if we cannot find you, you'll never get picked up. The other day, I kept going by this guy's house 4 times. I could find no address. Okay, and then when I finally walked up to his house, the address was so small until nobody could see it from the street. So we've got to help out the ambulance drivers, the cab drivers, the Uber drivers. I mean, you've got to make your address on your house conspicuously obvious, because that's where you live. I mean, it's a shame. And when I went out to Flatwood, when they had the trouble they had out there, I couldn't tell the address. I didn't know. I mean, even the houses that were standing, I didn't have any addresses on. So I mean, we've got to help. If we already got problems, having an address where nobody can find you is adds to that problem. And some people probably haven't picked you up yet because they can't find you. They don't know which house is yours. You can't go by GPS. The GPS will put you on the right street, but it sometimes won't put you at the right house. I'm just saying we need to do our due diligence also. Okay? If you can't find you can't be picked up. I'm going on to somebody that I can find. Put an address on your house that somebody can see. That's all I'm saying. Or put a blue light bulb in it or something that makes it obvious that that's where you are. Personally, I think you call an ambulance and like that, you ought to have a blue light bulb and the lights ought to be on. So we come right in. Okay? I'm just saying that would help. What is this? Right. Mm. That's right. Problems don't seem the same when somebody else has it. Until you get yours. Trust me, been there, done that. But when you get yours, so why don't we think about that before we? I'm just saying, put your address in your house. If you got it, and as a matter of fact, you want to make sure whatever you do it in, whatever you put your address, make sure it was low at night. So just because for some reason it seems that all bad things for the most part happen at night or when it's dark. Okay, so I'm just saying you might want to let that sucker kind of sprinkle in the night. These tennis shoes, people wear tennis shoes now. I almost hit a guy the other night, but because for his tennis shoes had to get reflective tape on them. I missed the brother by a couple of feet, but couldn't see him, But I saw a tennis shoe. I thought it was a cat, cat eyes going across the street, but no, it was him. So we might want to do the same thing with our home. If you want to be found in time, make sure you make it easier, not more difficult, for emergency personnel to find you. Now, I'm looking at the Constitution. The Constitution of the state of Alabama actually has a provision for maintenance of the poor, and Montgomery is supposed to have a county hospital. We don't have one. I don't know why. We don't. And that would take a lot of the burden off of the Jackson and Baptist if we had a county hospital that stays open all night long for people who are not necessarily have emergency but just need to go somewhere. I know we got some clinics and stuff like that. It's not quite the same thing. Anyway, we'll be back. I got 1 hour left. It's 7:58 in the morning. You got to be there by 8 o'clock. You got 1.5 minutes by which to arrive. If you got to be there by 7 o'clock, it's been ready. Okay. Anyway, my time's up. We'll be back in a one more time, 1 more hour. Okay. It is a day to be on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. I'd say that's reason to celebrate new things.
On News Radio 1440. News Radio 1440 is well done. This is CBS News 4 Hours. I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Our top story on news of winter storm that's blanketing the country from the Pacific Northwest to the upper Midwest.
I'm Bruce Martins in northern Wisconsin, which has seen several inches of snow. It makes traveling difficult.
Yeah, I'm not too crazy about the snow. Sports, exercise,
and driving is also tough.
We're not going to drive now. It's snowy. If I see somebody coming out who doesn't understand the rules of the road, I do not know that.
But the latest snowstorm is improving snowmobile trails.
More than 820,000 customers in the Midwest and it's a rare blizzard warning for the mountains of Southern California. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg stepped into a hard hat and orange vest this morning on his first visit to the site of the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, 3 weeks ago. Audio from video released by Buttigieg's office. He's been under fire for not visiting where he lives just miles away. When President Trump was there yesterday, the NCSB is expected to release preliminary findings today. Tomorrow marks the year since Russia launched
war in Ukraine. All's going in Ukraine. So where do things stand a year later? President has really cleared up with that, but I think the Syrians have time on their side. Retired Lieutenant General and CBS News contributor H.R. McMaster and now further assistant from China in the China is already supporting Russia's war invasion. About 60% of the U.S. and Russia than they were before the invasion of the year ago. So they created Putin's ATM that he used to keep the war going. The U.S. and NATO announcing that China could be preparing to supply Russia with weapons. Police in Central Florida say a suspect was in custody in the shooting deaths of a TV news reporter and 9-year-old girl. One of the women's murder earlier in the day. Hospital the forecast is more likely. The woman who was killed in the car was immediately to the suspect. What is unknown is why they allegedly returned to the scene and told the police crew and that mother and child not in critical condition. The economy grew a little slower than expected in the last quarter. The government said it expanded to have a 2.7% annual rate. CBS's Jim Schlesinger. The downward revision was due to less consumer spending than originally thought.
Something's missing in the produce aisle.
Dole Classic Blend Salad.
Many supermarkets have run out of Dole's prepackaged lettuces after the company was reportedly hit with a ransomware attack.
That's in Patriot at 18. This is CBS News.
Safety stores are a new world of confidence with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local safety store with StatusConnect.com.
This week, Status has deals so good, you can sit down. They say, great. The ads on Status Silicon sales shows that 50% off, like the Union and Scale Essentials Mesh Back Task Chair. Now just $89.99 at Staples. You save $90. Plus, get 2 super sanitizer. Then get a Staples back. Stay Staples week or 2. Now it's Staples. They're working on it and saving store. And creates a new secure element to the rest of my life.
Wash your hands, brush your teeth, before you clean your nose. The lavage uses suction that will stay in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, pushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. While cleaning your nose, providing air filter is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. Lavage lets you breathe better, sleep deeper, and steal less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. At Walmart, or in CVS, right in Target, and online. Lavage, AGE, clean nose, healthy way.
The world's #1 tennis player is asking the U.S. to let him in. Here's correspondent Steve Butler.
Novak Djokovic has very publicly refused to get a COVID vaccine. He is significant in competing in numerous events. He is now asking authorities in the U.S. for special permission to enter the country. Djokovic wants to take part in a pair of high-profile competitions in California and Florida. Foreign visitors are still required to be vaccinated in order to enter the country. The rule is expected to stay in effect until April. Steve Butterman, CBS News.
The Western world is showing solidarity with Ukraine as tomorrow's anniversary of the Russian invasion years. The Empire State Building will be lit up in blue and yellow in New York City tonight. So will the Eiffel Tower. That's the Paris mayor, Anne Hidalgo. Demonstrators have painted the Ukrainian flag outside the Russian embassy in London. Deborah Van Rodriguez, CBS News.
Use promo code FEST for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account to PayPal.
This is made with a right not to go on the beloved side. Few things are important to the first, this is checked by his guide. So that was the focus. Dr. Brian Kill, with people for care, who is coming from one block on this week. The staff was working and professional. Now, in less than 30 minutes, with a natural standard time. Simple observation. Opportunity to get help. Major business. For the reason, I felt comfortable and important. With certain working shoes that the very sensitive for annual visits to the site. As you know, for necessary attention. Call, live, low, any way you can get there and see Dr. Brian Kelly at Winter Foot Care. Call for an appointment 334-265-7585. Check out Winter Foot Care. Excuse me. The good promotion good work from my friends and family that still on free Christmas. Didn't have savings, family, or 18, no this, no this. I'm living free. You can run the people and you can put it up to lose. Nobody got to lose. A very bad man.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Hypnosis designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain for only $49.99. Become a non-smoker. That's right. Seminar Sunday, February 26th at the Hilton Garden East in Montgomery. Smoking seminar 2 p.m. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
Live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
All right, then. Oh, yeah. TP. Oh, yeah. Feeling it. I'm feeling it. 860-1440. It's the number here if you want to get something on your mind this morning. You can call us. Anybody see Charles out there? Tell him, I got the microphone for him. If he wants to come on and have a conversation. I know this mayor gets a lot of free press. So I'm going to give him some. Come on and talk at us and let us know what the real deal is here. And we'd love to talk to him. I have his number, but I don't know what to do with it. 860-1440. Also, there is a Insler, State Representative Insler who replaced my good friend Charlotte Meadows because they jerry-rigged the rate. Although I like it too, but you pack that many black folks in a place, you go all the way across town, come back to the other side of town, do a loop, horseshoe, come back, and then once you get over here, go back around town, you have other black folks. Yeah, you're gonna be a Democratic. You're gonna be a Democratic district. So I just where it rolls. That's where these politicians roll. And it they call it jerry-rigging, but we have another name for it. I cannot say on the radio. I could have said that it would be low class. Okay, but that's how they did that. But he is there. I like him and Mr. Aronde Mitchell. They are put together a tenants' rights legal clinic. And again, I don't know. I don't have the day on here. It's going to be today. State Representative and Councilman Aronde Mitchell. We be everywhere. Okay, right. I got you. Youngstown, Montgomery, community rights clinic, tenants. Yes, okay. But anyway, use the word I couldn't use on the radio. But anyway, so they're tenants' rights legal clinic. Okay. I guess is that tonight? Does anybody know when? Oh yeah, February 23rd at 5:30. Okay, my bad. When you get old, you can't do that stuff. And it's going to be located at where is it going to be located? 4525 Virginia Loop Road. Okay, this afternoon at 5:30. Now listen, I'm all for tenant having rights. I really am. I am. 'Cause I've been a tenant. Okay, I'm all for tenant. But now, when are we going to have a right for the landlord clinic? Because people stay in your house and tear your stuff up, and they do all kind of things and don't pay you for months. Who's going to look out after the landlord sometimes? I'm not. I've never been a landlord. I don't own anything, except my tenant use. I rent it them. So I'm just saying, but somebody got to look out for the guy who invests the money into his property. Because when he has to pay thousands of dollars because he had to lift a gate on somebody, then who's going to look out for his rights? I mean, seriously, I don't want landlords to be ripping people off like some of them are doing now, all in the name of what used to be a pandemic. I don't think they're doing that, but landlords get screwed, glued, and tattooed by people. I'm just saying. So, Angela, can we be fair about this? I mean, the landlord has a right to get paid or tell me to move, one or the other. I'm just saying. I mean, we're all looking out after the tenant. We're looking out after the landlord. Oh, okay. Anyway, we're gonna leave that alone. Anyway, there is a tenant's rights legal clinic tonight at 5:30 on 4525 Virginia Loop Road. Mr. Rondé. Yes, sir. Can you Woo! Okay then. We'll leave that alone. Miss Lindsay, Miss Limmer. Okay. Hey, where did you go? How about to get the job? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm just saying, you never know where you might find yourself in life. But I will say that the landlords got some rights too, although they don't really get a chance to use them most of the time. By the time you tear up a guy's house, kill his plumbing, steal his copper, steal the air conditioning thing outside, all kind of things. He walks in the house and, my Lord, they punch holes all in the walls, leave pampers all over the place. And the thing about it, when they leave the pampers, they got stuff in them. I'm just saying. I'm just asking the question: who's going to look out after the landlord? Okay, I'm not a landlord. I don't want to be a landlord. I like to hurt somebody. Anyway, 860-1414. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. And that's why I do. Wait a minute. That's why they tell you not to do this. I use the same password for everything. I ain't got time to remember all them passwords. But just making one hard password that nobody else would ever possibly think. You know what? It doesn't have to be anything that you used before. It could be something like use Air Force One or something like that. You have no association with, but you can't forget it. But I'm just saying, I'm not using it on a password. All that does, and if you lose your password on a Mac, you have to throw your computer away. Okay? Because they won't help you get it or anything like that unless you can prove you bought the Mac. You got the receipt for the Mac. You have all this for the Mac to get that Mac. Yeah. But use the same thing. Now, there is a way, I hate to tell you this because if I tell you this, somebody's listening to me and they're going to know how to find your password. Now, let me ask something. Can you get into your computer? All right. Call me later and I'll tell you how to get to the password. As long as you get the computer, I can tell you. All right? Mm-hmm. Again, I put out the call for Mr. Charles to come up here. If you want to answer some of those questions, you can. Can't make him come. I'll also put out the call for the mayor. The radio is not like TV We even sit there and get 30 seconds and people or a minute or so. You have to answer the question. Radio, you need some time. You know, to explain that stuff. But I thought I'd call to both of the mayor's office and to in time and see who wants to come up here and pick me up on my offer. Good morning. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But it says tenants' rights though. But it says tenants' rights. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Well, I am, but I'm also looking at the other side too. And I'm with you. I got that. Yeah, I'm not disparaging. But right. But nobody hardly ever speaks up for the tenant. Nobody hardly ever speaks up for the landlords though. And they're the ones who got their money involved in this thing. People don't pay. I'm just saying, nobody speaks for them. Yeah. Well, listen, I got no problem with that. Yeah, I got no problem with that. Well, that's good. And I'm not. I'm gonna definitely agree with that. But somebody's got to speak up for the landlord. Right, the tenants, and Ronnie's doing a good job. Right, Ronnie's doing a great job. Exactly. And we got some tenants are bringing some more ruffians into these communities, and right, so I'm dealing with it. Hey, Ronnie Mitchell's got to be one of my favorite city council people. Right, I'm with you. Okay, he's a good man. Yeah, yeah, he does. Right. But I still got to look out after the landlord too, because the landlord gets screwed in this process. Absolutely. But what if they get it while it's decent, and by the time they leave, it's in disrepair and look like a cyclone been through there? Who's paying for that? The landlord does. Right? Okay. Yeah. Which means that the rent's going up on the next guy that moves there. Yeah, what me? I can afford to move in. I had to come with $2,000 per house. I got hard enough time coming up with just the rent. Anyway, appreciate you coming. Okay, I got to break with you. Yeah, I'm not disparaged. I love this around the midnight. Not that way. I know what I mean. Yeah. But I'm just saying, somebody got to look out the landlord too. We'll be back.
News Radio 1450. Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute. I don't think it's a terrible idea to give more power back to the states, and then Americans will probably choose in greater numbers. We'll see a mass migration now. Florida's taking in nearly 1,000 residents a day. New York and California are losing about 1,000 residents a day, in large part because of governance and how bad it is, and high taxes, and burdensome regulation, and people are leaving with their wallets and their feet, and they're moving to Texas, they're moving to Florida, they're moving to Tennessee, they're moving to the Carolinas in bigger and bigger numbers. The national divorce would be, taking away the power of the federal government, limiting that power, and giving more power to the states to do things. Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here. I want to remind you about something that you wouldn't think would happen, but it can. People can steal your home. My friend had his home stolen. They're trying his home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real, and it's everywhere. And luckily, this was just a demo. There's consumers all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you need to as well. And if you can simply put your signature on the legal document saying you sold your home to them, homeowners insurance and identity theft programs do not protect you. The Home Title Lock does. They only give you an absolutely free, no obligation verification that your home is still in your name. You register for 30 days of protection for free. Just go to HometitleLock.com, promo code Sean, an absolutely free, no obligation. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Sean.
I have two dogs, Sam and Bailey, both are golden retrievers. For Sam, he was a nut, always itching, his paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had all spots on his back. I just don't like sitting shocked doing steroids and dog all the time. By Bailey's nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dynamite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing. So Bailey has been 12 weeks old. He's been a Dynamite mom, and he has zero issues today. He won't eat the food without Dynamite. When I get out the Dynamite, my dog actually salivates like I'm getting them the treat. So roll over it. Dynamite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
Will be.
I get my Dynamite from VICO.com. I have two dogs, Sam and Bailey, both are golden retrievers. For Sam, he was a nut, always itching, always sleeping wet all day from just constant licking. He had no spots on his back. I just don't like being shocked doing steroids and dog all the time. That's Bailey's nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dynamite, I started seeing really improvements. And today, 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing. And Bailey has been 12 weeks old. He's been in Dynamite now, and he has zero issues today. He won't eat the food without Dynamite. When I get out the Dynamite, my dog actually salivates like I'm getting them the treat. So roll over it. Dynamite is the best thing you can do for your dog. Get my Dynamite from VICO.com.
Telling you what it really is. It's the Daily Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
It's May 26th in the morning. If you have to be there by 9 o'clock, you got about 34 minutes by which to arrive. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is Decision. We call it that because everything we do requires us to make one. And even if you decide not to make one, then you just do. 860-1440, in moments of Black history, we're going to tell you about some things this morning that have been invented by Black folks that most of you don't have a clue. Okay, but since I'm the smartest guy on radio, at least in this room, I'll inform you of those things today. It is like this month, another week. Good morning. Who's this? Yes, Steve. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Mm.
How did you need that information?
Well, of course, I couldn't answer that, but I think they are in. We are paying for the cameras. You know. Well, what's the line? He is president, so I mean, yeah, yeah. Now, what you don't really believe, right? But you don't really believe, really, there are more. If there are more people in America than there are politicians, you don't really believe that if the majority of Americans ever decide that we can screw blue and fat food, that there'd be enough people in Washington D.C. to stop it. A picture. But now, okay, so when Maxine Waters and a few of them Democrats stood in front of the Congress one day with move, they got arrested, but they didn't get charged with sedition or anything like that. So what makes again the Constitution gives the Senate the Constitution gives the citizens the right to have redress against redress their grievances, and we also have a right. But they didn't. But they weren't arrested. No, that team wasn't arrested either. No, no, we did not. Come on, wait a minute. I don't want to say we because I got the FBI upstairs. You might think I was there. Yes, yes. You had citizens. And I listen. I'm still. We got okay. Let me do it. How has the how has the culture in America changed in the last 20, 30 years? We get more of our money taken from us. We got guys who now say they're girls. I got people running for public office don't know what a woman is. Okay, we're giving animals more rights than we're giving people. I mean, come on, we are changing our country to something that we can't even recognize anymore. Well, well, they got a right to ask for it. They got the right to ask for it. Yeah. Well, I ain't going to Washington D.C. no way, so they can have D.C. All right. Yeah, I ain't going to Washington D.C. I don't lose nothing up there. 8:31 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes. Getting peed on. Getting peed on. Yeah, no, they just listen. Whoever in charge, you know what? They get to tell everybody gets to tell their story. That's why we call it history. So, whoever wins, the victor, go to sport. No, that's right. In Seattle, when they occupied Democrats, or when they took over 16 blocks of Seattle and created their own government. Now, you want to talk about sedition? Mhm. That's right. Because they allowed that to happen. Right. They allowed that to happen. So. Mhm. or the police office thing or whatever. Yeah, man, it would have. Yeah, I gotta take a break. We'll come back after this message with some moments of Black history. And unless somebody else want to say something really entertaining this morning, that's probably a little bit more important. Anyway, we're allowed to take a break, and we shall return uno momento. Okay, it's a great day to be alive. Williams here for running this weekend. We were living born positive in the 70s and 80s. This is so Father's Day, opening at 60. And that's your first solar forecast. That's the thing. Meteorologist Rick Hunter on News Radio 13.
Montgomery Skywatch Circles Automotive, family owned, family driven. News Radio 1440.
in Chattanooga, Tennessee, 37402. No representation is made. The call with legal service was to be performed as further than the calling with legal services performed by other lawyers.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking now without craving, irritability, weight, and your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Also, lose all the weight you want for only $49.99 guaranteed with Mark Patrick Seminars. Brilliant lessons to destroy your habit craving. Blanket eating vision, photographs, including and lose your weight. Seminar Sunday, February 26th at Hilton Garden in Montgomery, Montgomery. Stop smoking seminar 10 p.m. Live on seminar at 11 a.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and Seatco can help you get it at a price you can afford.
Seatco can take affordable for help with a 10-year $4,000 guarantee for only $19 a month.
Not only do you take to all the world, but also from
diabetes and $1,000 a month.
we check companies like Seatco.
I'm not. I got to go one minute.
Security daily. That's 1-800-885-8811. Select Quote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com.
This year continues news about 9 out of 10 consumers made the kids with addiction. And there are hundreds of them that very heavily by the file even your social media. Buy yourself an addiction. At Curious Group, we have the expert and resources to fix what's wrong with your so you can retire with competition. Get started today. CumulusFirst.com. CUMUSFirst.com.
Upgrade.
Selling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Okay. I admitted that I was in Washington, D.C. January the 6th. Now I got the FBI upstairs. Everybody's going to come down and want to have a conversation. I apologize. I was trying to keep that secret. But I was there. Yeah, I was there, sitting on the outskirts of town, waiting to go in and protest. Okay, I was there. Okay. But I didn't make it into the city limits. They can't get me on anything, on sedition or anything like that. Yeah, I was there. I was trying to help my good man out. Now, I personally didn't want to, didn't know we were thinking about overturning the government. You know what I'm saying? I served this mission to defend that government. I didn't think about overturning the government or anything like that. But I was wondering there for a minute. What's going on up there? But now, okay, so tomorrow I'll probably have to talk to the FBI and the CIA, and they probably want to invite me to the White House to see what was on my mind that day. I understand that. I do. But anyway, okay, so the trick's out. I was there. I admit, I was there just trying to make sure things were going right. And I wasn't with the Proud Boys because I don't know about I don't really know about the Proud Boys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. But I'm not necessarily against them. They got a right to believe the things they want to believe. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so I'll probably, when I get up, I probably got to go upstairs, and sort of like talk to the fellas up there. What were you doing in D.C.? Well, that's my house up there. I mean, the White House belongs to us. I know it's got white on it. It don't really mean White House, do it? I mean, for the white, it was my house too. So I went up there to check it out and see how things are going up there. Okay. But anyway, getting back to more important things, I'll let you know how my interview with the FBI comes out. Okay, I mean, I'm just letting you know, I was there. Okay? But I wasn't trying to, I wasn't inside the Capitol or anything like that. I wasn't out there trying to look for Pelosi or nobody like that. I was just trying to figure out where the bathroom was. So if you see me on the tape and I look a little confused, that's because I'm trying to figure out where the bathroom is. When you got diabetes, you got to go a lot. So that's what I was looking for. Okay, one more call that I'm gonna get you from Black History Moments here. Good morning. Who's this? You too. Okay, I'm just saying. That's just thing you got to put up with this, guys. That's what everybody want to do with that. And I don't know. It's good. I'm good. Okay, then. Now, let us get to some important things here. And those important things is a little bit of Black history, since we are in the second to the last week of this month. And this day, of course, I got some other things to say, but I'm going to do a little history. And this is the first year I've actually done this because we finally had the conversation of why do we do it? Why do we celebrate this? I think I celebrate it because or commemorate it because in spite of all that my mother, my father, my grandmother, my great grandmother, in spite of all the things they went through, being treated terribly. Not a history book lesson that somebody told me about. My parents went through this. We are in a place which still gives us the best opportunity to succeed in any other country I've ever been to. And I've been to about 20 of them, 20 countries. So I'm just telling you, I've seen more here than I've seen, that I've been innovative. I've never been to a place, never been to a place where I wanted to stay there. Okay, feel me? You feel me on that one? Yeah. Never been to a place that was so nice that I wanted to do it twice. Never. America is still the greatest place on God's green earth for black folks. Okay, we got issues? Okay, some of y'all got some real issues. But somehow we make it. Somehow we do what we need to do. And to that end, that is why we celebrate, in my mind, Black history. Not necessarily we don't celebrate it because everything has been so great and been so this and been so that. Okay, we celebrate it because of the possibility. Okay, and at one point in our lives, excellence was our standard, and it still needs to be our standard. I'm gonna take one more call, then I'll get to this. Good morning. Who's this? Hello. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about it to tell you the truth. Yeah, that was kind of funny. But hey, what can I say? Yeah. No. Okay. Hmm. Okay. All right then. Yeah. 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 Well, okay. Appreciate it. Take one more call, then I can get to this other important issue. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Well, you could do tax, I guess, and if you needed immediate medical attention, that would. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, hey, appreciate it. Anyway, so let me get some of these things, some of the greatest moments in the history of America for Black folks, and we're going to do that right now. Okay. Right there, right there, right there. All right, don't have time to take any more calls at the moment, but let's do it. Feel good about this portion of the show, as a matter of fact. First of all, things that Black folks have invented or been part of that the world doesn't really know. Dr. Shirley Jackson, who lived in 1946, and she's alive right now. She is a theoretical physicist. Her major developments of things she's come up with is the touch tone on the telephone. Caller ID, fiber optic cable. That's right. That's right. You can't call me now. Hey, blame her so the bill collector can't get through. Okay, so we got that caller ID thing. Dr. Shirley Jackson was an American physicist. Who received her PhD from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1973. She was the first African American woman to earn a doctorate in nuclear physics from MIT. In addition to her lengthy list of academic achievements, she also has an impressive number of inventions under her belt. And again, those are touch tone for the telephone, caller ID, and fiber optic cable. Lewis Latimer, who invented the carbon filament. He lived from 1848 to 1928. He's an inventor and a draftsman. Inventor and engineer Lewis Latimer was born in Chester, Massachusetts on September 4th, 1848. He collaborated with science greats Hiram Maxim and Thomas Edison. One of Latimer's greatest inventions was the carbon filament, a vital component of the light bulb. So the next time you turn on that light, I just want you to know that if it wasn't for a black man, you wouldn't be seeing as good as you are. Okay, so I'm just saying. Marie Van Britten Brown. Marie Van Britten Brown, well, 1922 and lived to 1999. She was an inventor. Her major development is closed circuit television security. So the next time you look at those security cameras, you know who did it here. Okay? Her original invention consisted of EPOs, a camera, monitor, and two-way microphone. The finishing touch was an alarm button that, when pressed, they immediately contact the police. Thank her for that. Otis Boykin, 1920 to 19. He was an inventor. His major development is IBM computer and the pacemaker. So, next time you know somebody with a pacemaker, tell them to thank Mr. Otis Boykin, who lived from 1920 to 1982. Next up, Lonnie G. Johnson, who lived from 1949 and he's still alive. He's an aerospace engineer. His major developments are the Super Soaker. Remember that gun? Johnson thermoelectric energy converter. Yeah, I remember the Super Soaker. Did you ever enjoy playing with that gun? But the next time you get one, you kids that they want one, just let them know, especially the black children, that was the masterpiece, Mr. Lonnie G. Johnson. Charles Drew, who lived from 1904 to 1950, physician and medical researcher. He, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, he is the one responsible for the blood bank. So we got to give the blood, but he's responsible for figuring out how to keep it so you can use it when you need it. Because every 2 seconds in America, somebody needs blood. Next up is Marion R. Croak. She is a senior vice president of AT&T Lab. I made a development, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, she came up with voice over internet protocol, VoIP. Yep, she did. Get it in with it. Marion R. Croak, C-R-O-A-K. Look her up. In 2013, Marion Croak was inducted to the Women in Technology International Hall of Fame. A move that recognizes her remarkable achievements in tech. Croak holds 135 patents, primarily in voice over internet protocol, or what we call VoIP. Some other areas she had another 100 patents currently under review. Lisa G. Lobster. She is a vice president of BET. Well, some of her major developments is Shockwave, genesis of animation on the web, and online video. So when you watch these movies from now on, you'll know who's getting there. Okay? And if you ever enjoyed an animated GIF on the web, like the ones of amazing clips of kittens and dogs, all that stuff, well, thank her for putting them there. Philip Meingilwall, and I want to mess with this guy. He lived from 1954 to now. He made world's fastest computer. You recall Philip Meingilwall, Wally, was forced to drop out of school at the age of 14. But it didn't stop him from becoming one of the greatest computer pioneers of our time. In fact, he's often called Bill Gates of Africa. As an adult, he began studying nature, specifically bees. The construction of the honeycomb inspired him to rethink computer processing. In 1989, he put this idea to work using 65,000 processes to invent the world's naturally parallel processing supercomputer, able to perform, check this out, 3.1 billion calculations per second. So the next time who got the fastest computer in town? Okay, I agree. Now I got Jesse Ernest Wilkins Jr., who lived from 1923 to 2011. His major developments are mathematical models to explain gamma radiation. So the next time you check that out, this makes it possible to be able to check how that works. Jesse Ernest Wilkins, one of America's most important contemporary mathematicians. At the age of 13, he became the University of Chicago's youngest student. Wilkins continued his studies there, earning a bachelor, master, and eventually his doctorate in mathematics at the age, believe it or not, of 19. Obviously, that was not me. He needs to be in my family. Elijah McCoy, who lived from 1843 to 1929. Elijah McCoy, often regarded as the most famous black inventor ever, McCoy was credited with 50 inventions over the span of his career. Some of his major developments: lubricators that revolutionized steam engines and the railroad industry. And doing that, of course, we were able to get better productivity out of our railroad and all the other things that came into it. Elijah McCoy, 1843 to 1929. Garrett Morgan, who lived from 1877 to 1963. Some of the things he invented, believe it or not, is the gas mask and the traffic signal. So if you get to the traffic signal, and if you're in the military, if you ever put on that gas mask, thank you, brother, for coming up with it. Although I must admit, thinking that gas mask also would have gotten you because that chamber. Woo. But anyway, Garrett Morgan, major developments. He was the gas mask as well as the traffic signal. The next time you stop at the light, don't be complaining. Thank a brother that came up with the idea. One more. Mary and Mildred Davidson. Mary and Mildred Davidson, they invented. The major development was the, okay, I'm going to just go and say it. The sanitary belt, the walker, and the tissue holder. Okay. Mary and her sister patented many practical inventions. They didn't have technical education, but they were both exceptional at spotting ways to make people's lives better. Together, they invented the sanitary belt. Later, Mary invented the moisture-resistant pocket for the belt. While disabled from multiple sclerosis, Mary went on to invent the walker and the toilet tissue holder. Now, I don't know anybody that knew it. You still do that. Anyway, those are some of the things inventions and the inventors to celebrate this Black History Month. We'll give you some more tomorrow. Okay? I just thought I would let you know about these things. Anyway, time's up. I don't have much time left this hour. I hope I got some time left on it, but I hope I don't have much time this hour. But you know, everything comes with an expiration date. And my expiration date on this show, it leaves us in about 45 seconds. So anyway, don't forget, if you want to email me, elkman0557 at Gmail. Elkman, ELKMAN 0557 at Gmail. You can text me, 334-241-9998. We'll see you tomorrow. The good Lord says the same. And don't forget, it's a great day to be on top of the ground. In the ground. Not on top of you. Good morning to you.
USA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.